With a hopeful gleam in his eye, Frank Enbeans took a chance on the new software release, and it has paid off. Now, with a few $1,000,000 sitting in the bank account and a fresh team of marketers tirelessly working on the phones, can Frank lead his company into the next stage of its evolution? Can he press them forward to greater heights? And what about Sandra Evans, who seems to be gunning for the leadership over the company, even though she's only been working there a few months? Will her ambition prove to be a disaster for Geek-Soft? Or can Frank keep her in check long enough to prove he has what it takes to make them all rich? Stay tuned.
Incoming customer detected.
Keep your eyes open, boys.
We need to have a serious talk!
Hello to all my fellow entrepreneurs. Welcome to Blind Gamer Plays. My name is Ira, and we are back once again in Software Incorporated, where last time we ended up releasing a new piece of software that has paid off pretty darn well. It is making us about $100,000 per day, and we have accomplished the goal of getting over $3 million sitting in our bank account. And that is just with us having a very small team of employees, one set of marketers and one set of a core team doing programming, and it is working out pretty darn well. And I hope that you guys are ready for an interesting episode today. We'll see what we can manage to do within this small company to make it into something much bigger and much better. We are going to let the time pass on here a little bit, and we are going to start in next month, and we're going to see what we can do to make some profit, because profit is key in the software industry. It always is, right, EA? I mean, yes, exactly. Going well, you know, we'll see what happens. I think that these guys are going to be able to get us some good money rolling in. So, let's see. Yeah, we made probably about $250,000 that day. Let's see. Nope, 323,000. Not bad for a one-day profit for a very small company that has only got basically one piece of software that is actually selling. The other one is essentially off the market. It's not making anything really at all. It's like, what, 10,000 last month. However, this one is still making just about as much each day as it has the previous days. So we should be able to milk quite a bit of money out of this little piece of software. And I'm satisfied with that. We're going to push it so that we can get about $4.5 million. And once we get to about $4.5 million, which we do need to look at our deals over the past couple of days here. But once we get it to be about 4,500,000 or so, we can go ahead and develop the next stage of the building and start looking into doing more pieces of software that'll give us a nice buffer to work with. So we will go ahead and accept that marketing job. And I just noticed actually there is perhaps a problem going on with one of the servers, or well, with our only server. Yes, it is load at 100%. So that means that every bit of things that we have going on with the hosting jobs that we're doing is taking up every bit of server space that we have. We need to take care of that real quick. Otherwise, people are going to start canceling their contracts with us. So the easiest way to do that, since we're at the point in the game where time-wise, year-wise, we are not going to be able to upgrade into a bigger server. We just need to basically duplicate the one that we already have. We'll put it down here, and then we'll go into wiring mode, which is something that we've never had to deal with before. But we'll go into wiring mode, and we'll wire these two together so that they are classed as one server. That way, now you can see the amount of servers that we have on the count is 2. It does show the 100 load, but we have 100 gigabits of bandwidth at this point in time. And once we've let time pass and the server load has changed a little bit, Yeah, now you can see we're at 55% load. So we've got plenty of space now to work with to get us through to whatever the next stage is going to be. So let's push time forward a little bit. Take a look at the deals that are on hand. Designing, developing, there's another marketing. We can go ahead and do, I think, another marketing. And there's another hosting. We'll take that one for sure because we're taking every bit of hosting ones that we can find. Those are the biggest money makers that we have for long-term kind of things. Let me see how the marketing is doing. I'm not sure if they are handling everything marketing-wise that we currently have on hand. I'm going to move things around. Nope, never mind. We're gonna take care of all of the salaries. They all want raises. That's how it goes usually. They all want raises all at the same time. So isn't that the way? So let's see marketing wise if they are able to handle all of the marketing. Inventory broke. Need to call a maintenance staff in. I know that we could just hire somebody. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment, simply because we're going to be upgrading the building here pretty soon. So, yeah, it does look like we already have too much on our hands as far as marketing goes. We're not able to handle everything. That's okay. I'm not too worried about that. So we will go ahead and reject any of the other marketings that come in. Lots of hosting. Yes. Take those. Oh, no. Shoot. I hit the reject. Dang it. Well, that's okay. We'll just reject the rest. That happens sometimes. Okay. So we made a good amount of profit that day. I just took a look and I saw we made almost $400,000. But Pamela has called in sick and we have some people on vacation. Yeah, $347,000 for a month. That's pretty good. Our software is now making about $50,000 a month. So it is going downhill. And when it goes downhill, that's usually how it goes. It goes down pretty rapidly. You'll see it kind of have a nice spike of incoming cash and then it'll go downhill. So that happens. No hostings. Nope. Okay. So one more month and we will go ahead and see what we can do to upgrade this stuff. Yeah. Okay. Now we're just about $5 million. More employees went on vacation, but that's okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into build mode and I'm going to slide the slider over a little bit so that we can see it, basically so that we're in daylight. That does help a lot. So we need to look at expanding the building because we're going to start doing more programming. And when I say more programming, I mean more programming. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to have two teams that are dedicated to making software. One team is going to be dedicated to one set of software. The other one is going to be dedicated to another. We're also going to have a marketing team, and we're going to go ahead and start doing a support team. Well, at least put the infrastructure in place for a support team. We're not necessarily going to do the support team right away. We'll wait until after the new pieces of software get released. I'm not too worried about the ones that we already have out. Not too concerned about that at all. So we will take a look at the land that's around us by looking at the plots. And as we can see, this plot of land that we started off on here, it's divided up into multiple subplots that we will have to purchase if we wish to expand through this whole property. We don't need all of that yet, but we probably will eventually. However, we do need to buy some of the property that's around. Number one, so that we can make a bigger building. And number two, so that we can actually put in a parking lot. Because we're going to need to have people come in with their own cars. Because the amount of people that we're going to hire in It's going to be too much for the buses. Everybody's going to arrive late. Things are going to be horribly inefficient. It's just not going to work out very well for us. So I do see over here, we have a big plot of land that's going to cost us $600,000 to buy. That is a big chunk of land right there. And if we were to purchase, let's say this land right here, that is $149,000. This one is another $374,000. This one is $1.5 million. Lots of money to be spent out as far as buying plots of land goes. But what we can do is this land right here, because it is reasonably cheap, we're going to go ahead and buy that. As you can see, this now is a big piece that we can make use of. This we will go ahead and purchase as well. And I will also do, I think, this one next. Okay. Now that we have some land, I'm actually going to build our actual company building over here, because that's going to give us a lot of room to play around with. I am going to select this whole building. Not the wall. We're going to select the whole building. Yep. That includes the basement and everything within it. And we're going to sell it by deleting it. That gives us back basically all of the value of all of the items that are within it, as well as the walls and so on and so forth. You might not get full value, but you'll get quite a bit. Now, let's take a look at roads. I'm sorry. Yeah, roads. So we're going to look at parking, and we're going to see how much parking space we can make here. That's quite a bit. Oh, nope, we can't do one in front of the bus stop. So actually, if we put one down, we're going to have to like skip this plot right here. That's okay. That's okay. However, that's going to cost us about $10,000. We'll just skip over the bus stop land, place those there, and place those there. So that spent out a little bit. We can't put one there because it's not within our building perimeter. As you can see, the plot kind of curves a little bit. That's the one problem with doing stuff in this territory. Your plots of land are going to be a little bit funky shaped. However, that gives us a decent amount of parking spaces, at least for now. How much is this one going to be? That's another 370,000. We'll skip it for now. I think we'll be okay. So we'll turn off the plots. We'll go to the building, and I'm going to build a building here, and we'll see what we can get to come out of it. Be right back with you. Okay, that took a while. However, we did get it done, and I'm going to show you what we did. So let me go back into build mode, and I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to be somewhat lighter just so we can get a decent view on what's going on. This is the exterior here, and as you can see, we built it pretty big, and I'll show you why. If we go down, and you can now see what's going on here, this is the new area for our programmers to basically hang out in and to be able to do their thing. What we did was we set this room up here. This has, if I remember correctly, this has room enough for 14 computers. Yeah, do a count here. Yeah, 14, which we need to put those computers down yet, but we will in a moment. So there's room enough for 14 people to work within this room. And I have the noise levels set so that it's basically ineffective. And then this is a meeting room. This is a room for the leader, and 3 bathrooms for the people to make use of at any given time. This is a common hallway, and I'll tell you why in a moment. This is our reception area, and as you can see, it's fairly fleshed out at this point. There's room enough for people to come in and sit. I have a coffee maker for them and a nice place to sit and relax in. And it's a pretty comfortable room. As you can see, the environment levels and everything are really good. The temperature, don't worry about. The temperature doesn't entirely affect when deals are getting made or not made. So this is a canteen area. And as you can see, there is a lot of space for a lot of people. That is because what we can do now that we have this built, we can select all of the rooms that are here. Go ahead and do that here. We'll get all of these selected. And then I want to make sure that one's selected. And then what we can do is we can save these rooms as a blueprint. Actually, we can do this too. So we can save these rooms as a blueprint. And then when we want to expand, which we will do when we set the marketers up. I have not completed this. I just wanted to kind of show you what we've got going on here. But when we go to set up a room for the marketers, which is going to be a duplicate of all of this, then all we need to do is clone these rooms, move upstairs, and drop them into the appropriate spot, which would be right here. However, I'm not going to do that quite yet because I do want to put the computers down yet. Also, over here is the utility area. This is where our air conditioning and our heating is located because we need both for the territory that we're in. This gives enough room for us to be able to have, I would say, probably a good 4 or 5 floors worth of this, which would be 4 or 5 teams total. Because again, this section right here is all for each team, right? So there's enough heating and cooling to run all of this efficiently for probably 4 or 5 floors. If we go downstairs, this right here is just the stairway to get up into here because again, as I explained in the last episode, it is a good idea to have only one entryway for your building. That way the thieves only have one place that they can get into to be able to do anything nefarious. So they have this spot right here to be able to get in. I have a spot for a security guard right here. So any thieves that want to come in, they either have a choice of going over here into the canteen and get busted by the security, or they can go this direction and try to get into the elevator and get busted by the security. So again, I have this set up just as the way to get up here, and so that this building is technically connected with the rest of the facility. One very despairing hallway to be able to get through for the maintenance people if they need to get over there. And then right here is where we have our servers. So I have 3 sets of servers on each wall, and I've got them all connected up so that there are technically 2 servers. And the reason for that is because one set of servers is going to be for the distribution of software. In other words, our hosting and all of that kind of stuff. The other one is simply going to be for the SCM for the software that we create. And I know I'm overkilling with the servers, but I like to have a little bit of balance, you know. And if anything else, it's good to have a good set of servers set up for them to have a fallback to be able to work with. So I have an elevator right here that goes downstairs, and when we clone this area, that's going to clone the elevator as well up here so that we don't have to really deal with a whole lot of stuff. So let me go ahead and set up the computers, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I have the computers all set up, and I'm going to put some calculators down so that our programmers can work more efficiently. Because this room here is just going to be for the programmers. And it looks like I put the computer into the wrong spot right here. Go figure. Move that so that it is in the center. There we go. Now the person who sits there can make use of it. And I do believe I have one for everything now. Yep. And then for the leader room, I'm going to put the inbox because that makes the leaders more efficient. As you can see, the lead has the bonus effects from that, whereas the rest of the stuff, it's much lower. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do there. And now with all of this in place, we can, as you can see, we've spent down a fair amount of money, a lot of money really. But this should be pretty good for us to be able to go ahead and clone. Oop. Select the room, not the item. There we go. So in order to do this, all you do is hit the clone tool, move upstairs, and we should be able to just plop it down right there. There we go. Now, as you can see, it says right here, it's got the whole, there's nothing beyond this door, basically. That's okay. We can just delete this door and everything is fine. So now upstairs here, this area I'm going to have as the territory for the marketers. Now, I know we just laid down the calculators, but what we're going to do, we're going to select one of the calculators. We're going to select all of the calculators within this room, and we are going to replace them phones. Simple as that. Now, all of the marketers that are within this area can have the phones. So, because we have the two teams, I'm going to, first off, before I forget about it, I'm going to go into the server and I'm going to rename the servers just so that I can keep track of things better. So this one is going to be distribution. Okay, and we're going to rename that. And then this one is going to be for development. And we'll rename that. So the distribution, we're going to have that one. All of the goodies are going to get moved to distribution. And now when we do other programs ourselves, we can set them up on the development. And that will simplify the process quite a bit. All right, so we're going to make it so that we can see a little bit easier because, again, it's a little bit easier to do this stuff when you have the good lighting going on. But what we're going to do is, oh yeah, I forgot. We're also going to go into the teams. The core, I don't want it just named core. So I'm going to go ahead and rename core. Let's say, we'll name this file compression. Because these guys that are working on that core area have already done a couple of file compression programs. So they're going to be more efficient doing that kind of software from this point forward. I'm also now going to select that team and we're going to do HR management. And we are going to set up the this team to run as automatically as we can make it. So we want to have HR management active. The budget, this is a weird thing. So your budget is not your salaries. And it's very confusing the way that it's worded, but it took me a little bit of time to figure it out. So I figured I'd go ahead and explain it. Your budget is not your salaries. What your budget is the amount of money that the HR person is allowed to spend per month doing education for the employees that are within that team. So if you have education set up, which you can do down here, you can set up education levels. This is how much per education activation the employee will do. So education level 3 would mean that they would be sent to be educated for 3 months straight on whatever topic is chosen by the HR person that's in control. And then the education amount is how many employees at once the HR person is allowed to have sent to education. So we can set it to 2, for instance, and that means that only 2 employees at any given time will be allowed to go get education for up to 3 months each. Little confusing, but I hope that's understandable. So the budget Each level of education that's done costs a certain amount of money to do. And if your HR person does not have the budget to make it happen, then they simply will not send anybody out for education. This also impacts how much they're allowed to spend when, for instance, they do this to begin looking. If they only have $1,000 per month available to hire, then they can only do basically that much worth of looking for employees. And if they wanted to try to get the amount of skills and so on and so forth, you see that raises it up as well. So then they wouldn't even be able to do a level 2 version of that. So what I do is I just kind of go full bore. I just give them $100,000 worth of budget to be able to work within. And that gives them all the room in the world to be able to do what they need to do to get the hiring and education done every month as it's needed. And believe me, they're not going to go to that 100,000 mark. It's just there as a buffer. And it's just easy to hit the 00 when you go to, to put all this in, because you got to do this. You got to set all of this up for each team that has a leader that you want the leader to be in control of HR. So we're going to have them also be in charge of handling wages and handling complaints, because I get sick and tired of the pop-ups. And believe me, when you have like 100 employees, it's going to be popping up constantly. So it's much easier just to have the HR person do that kind of thing. And as you can see, that's a tier 1 skill for a leader to have. Every leader is going to have bare minimum the ability to do this kind of thing. Role selection is another one that's important to decide if you want to do. Whether and how HR should control employee role assignment. So when you look at your employees, right here is their roles that they have. So for instance, these guys, remember I set up as being marketers. If the HR person is not given the leeway to do that, then they will be able, they'll still have the capacity to do every role that's available. However, they might not be very good at it. So you might want to change it so that it's either role selected for what they were hired for, because you can hire them specifically as a marketer, hire them specifically as service, so on and so forth, or that they, the HR person gives them whatever role they're best at, which isn't necessarily the thing that they were hired for. So again, I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit confusing, but I tend to go for the hired for, because then I know there's not going to be any weird buggy errors that happen in relation to that role selection being done. So where it says status disabled, that essentially just means that there's not an HR person that's actually in control of things yet. So this HR status is not activated. And so this again is going to be set up for the file compression, which currently has a salary of $24,000. The file compression, if you remember correctly, it's going to take about 2 programmers, 3 programmers, 2 developers, or designers, I'm sorry, to be able to get it complete efficiently within the time period allotted. Okay. So we are going to have actually just a little bit over. I'm going to hire 4 programmers for this. You can see right now we currently have 2 that are employed here. And you see we have 1 designer as well. Now, again, because we have designers that are necessary for things as well as artists, we have a choice if we want to have designers be on this team or something different, which is what I tend to do, which is to have designers and artists be on an entirely separate team. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have programmers actually be on staff, but no designers, and no artists, and definitely no service members because that's not necessary. Our specializations, we can set them to be any because we're kind of going to have generalists come in to do programming, but you can set it so that they're looking for specific things. It just depends entirely on the software that you're trying to develop. Salary is how much of a salary the HR person is going to hire them for. I go for high because that is going to give us the best software that we can get whenever we try to develop anything. All right, so the HR stuff is set up for this team. We're going to go ahead and close that, and we're going to do the same with the marketing. Set up HR management. We're going to have them do those. We're going to have that be their budget. We're going to have them do the hired for, and we're going to have them do an education with 2. And service people, we are going to hire 5 service people, but we're going to change their specializations away from all, and we're going to make them specifically marketing. Right? Because that's what we need. We need marketers, and we're going to set their salary to high. All right. So these 2 teams are now set up and ready to go. And now that they're set up and ready to go, again, we're going to switch into the build mode and change it over to daylight just so that we can have an easier time of getting things organized a little bit. So what we need to do, again, this bottom floor, we're going to have the file compression people. So we're going to select this room. Okay. Select this room, this room, this room, and the bathrooms. And we're going to right click and we are going to change teams. So switch team. This one is for file compression. Click OK. That means that only people who are on the file compression team are going to be allowed to go into these rooms. Okay. This room, we're also going to switch the room usage to being for meetings only. This room, we're going to switch the usage to be for leaders only. Okay. So as you can see, now we have a room for our leader. We have a room for our leader to do the meetings in. We have room for the programmers, and they have the ability to go in here and go to the bathroom. So all of the employees that are here are still going to be able to pass through the hallway, pass through the reception area, go into the canteen. Okay. That's important. You don't want to have this hallway. Like if you do something similar, you don't want to have a common hallway be set up for a specific team. If you're going to switch the roles, right? If you're going to switch the teams, you need to have all of your teams selected with it. Otherwise, the people who are working on the top floors are not going to be able to pass through here to go to the elevator to get to the next floors. Does that make sense? I hope so, because I made the mistake of doing that for a little bit of time when I first started playing the game, and I was like, why the heck are my people not being able to get up here into the rooms? Oh, that's why. So yeah. So again, we're going to do the same thing up here. We're going to select this room, this room, this room, and the bathrooms. We're going to switch team to the marketing. Click OK. This room is going to be for the meetings. There it is. This room is going to be for the leader. And there you go. Now this is all set up so that only the marketers will be able to get into here. It's important because, again, in the last episode, remember I talked about how they will get very annoyed if they have people from other teams coming into their zone. They're very teamist, I guess you could say. They don't like to deal with anybody else being in their area. So I'm going to select this whole floor. Okay, so you can do that by right-clicking on any of the areas and clicking on Select Whole Floor. And as you can see, it's not got anything else selected, right? So we're going to select this whole floor, and we're going to clone it one more time. We're going to come upstairs, and we're going to plop it down so that it is even with the rest. Okay, that cost us a fair bit of money. Okay, but this, then, I'm going to set up to be for a different team. So this team, so right now we have marketers. We have file compression. We need to decide what else we're going to do. All right. So what I'm going to do with it, though, is I'm going to set this floor up so that it is for designers and artists. And that is because eventually we're going to have more floors added here, so that we can have another team developing other pieces of software. So for instance, we might want to get into doing games or office software or something along those lines. And if we have a specific developing team, then they can do the work for both teams that are creating software. Okay, you can split the designing up between, or basically conglomerate it all together, right? And that way as well, we can start working deals that are for design too, and they will be more capable of getting it completed and be able to basically pay their own bills when they're not doing work for developing other software. So we're going to go into manage teams, and we're going to create a new team. We're going to call this designers. If I can spell it correctly. Sorry, my keyboard is a little off today. Design and artists. Okay, so add that team, and immediately we are going to switch it so that they are not doing the vacations for 2 months. Set them up for March. That's fine. And now we'll go into the HR management of this one. We'll enable it all. We will change to what they're hired for. We will educate them. And we will not have programmers, but we're going to have, I'd say, 3 designers and 3 artists. We can make them any specialization. We'll set them to high salary and not forget to give them the extra budget to play around with. Okay. So let us also, now that we have the team set up, now we can go through and select the floor. Actually, I'll just do this. I'll select the whole floor. It'll be a little bit easier, and then deselect this hallway. And then we will switch teams to the designers and artists. Change this to meeting again. Change this to leader. Okay, so now we have a design and artist team. So any software that we develop, the design is always going to go to these guys. And for now, these guys will take care of the actual programming for the rest of the thing. So all that is done. This is a long, I know it's a long way to go, right? We've done a lot of work, but I think that now that we have all of this set up in such a way, it will basically make things more efficient for us to do rapid expansion when it's necessary. We still have $1 million to play around with. We're going to start paying out a lot of salary money. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of cash that we're losing, but we should be okay. I think. So we still have these guys set up on our staff, and we need to make sure that these guys, yeah, see, it's complaining because there is no reception area, right? So we want them deselected from that. Just to do all. That's fine for the moment. But just so that it doesn't give us any errors. We're going to assign... where is it? If I right click here, I think that's where the room group is. Yeah, add selected to group. That's going to be reception. All right, so now we can reselect them, make sure that they're on reception, right? Okay. Why not? We'll also have the receptionist go to reception too. There you go. You're in reception. Okay, so we do want to hire another cleaner, because one cleaner for this big building is not going to work. So we want to hire a cleaner. We're also going to go ahead and hire maintenance and an IT support. Again, it's going to cost us a lot, right? But we should be okay. And if you noticed in the canteen area, we have fridges and stoves, and we have the platters basically that the cooks that we hire can put burgers and food onto. So we'll go ahead and hire in, for now, one cook, because we're not going to have a whole lot of employees, right? But we've got room for expansion to have 2 cooks working. And yeah, we should be good to go on those. Now, we need to figure out leadership. Frank does have the leader skill. He's really good at being the leader, right? If you remember right, we set him up so that he is got a really good amount of leadership skills. He's got the max on the HR, so he can handle the hiring and firing and all that kind of good stuff. He's got the socialization maxed out, so he can hold meetings, which are important. That is an important aspect of doing the leadership. So, since the beginning, he has been a programmer, designer, artist, and everything in between. However, now Frank is going to be the leader. And that is all he's going to do. He is going to be the leader, and he is going to lead the whole company into the fray. So, yeah. All right. Also, this person right here was one of the people that we had hired for doing the designer, right? They're really good design work. However, because we have changed things around, we are actually going to change their team to the designers and artists. Okay. And we're going to make it this one here as well. They were programmer. Nope, they're good. And they were programmer with artist. So they're good too. Okay, so that designer is working on his own for right now. The next thing we need to do is to hire leaders for the other 2 teams. So we want them to have an HR focus because that is important for us. We're going to have them be high salary so that we can have high skill. We're going to go ahead and spend a lot of money looking for this person who's going to lead our team. We'll go ahead and have them look for the designers and artists. And if you remember right, we're going to look for the compatibility the most because that's going to make them more efficient. Now, because this is a team of designers and artists, and they're not going to be working project management, the automation is absolutely useless. This only applies to teams that are working project management tasks. That's not going to be the case with the leader of the designers. Okay. Specialization or socialization would be the next most important thing. So HR, socialization, multitasking, then automation for anybody that's hired as a leader for this team. We're going to go ahead and look again. Well, this guy was great too. Let's see what he's got. Yeah, multitasking. We not super interested in that. Socialization, that's good. He can socialize with she can socialize with the employees. It's not maxed, so they can't hold meetings, but that's okay. That's not bad. They can still boost the other things that are going on. So I think that will be good. We'll go ahead and hire Beth for the team lead for the designers and artists. So next, we're going to look for a team lead for marketing. And we can just go ahead and switch it around so that it's like this. All right, so let's look again. We're going to look again. And we're going to look again. I'd like to find somebody that's great or a 4-star. Yeah, see, there's a 4-star. 4-star, yep, there we go. See, this is perfect. Max socialization, maxed HR. This would be great because, again, we're not having the marketing team do any kind of project management. Automation is not a part of things, right? Multitasking would be good for support and marketing tasks, right? But it's not... this is not as important, I think, as being able to hold meetings. Holding meetings is a big boost for the people that are on that team that go to a meeting. So we're going to go ahead and hire them. Now, we have everybody in place for our company to move forward. Boy, oh boy, this has been a big one, right? I'm sorry that it has taken so long to get everything all established and going, but you know, we've got it ready to go. So I am going to do something else here because I'm going to have the leaders handle things. I'm going to turn off some of these things. So we're going to have just those actually active. So as you can see, there's nothing there now, right? So let's go ahead and let a little bit of time pass. Okay. And we'll take a look at the management teams now. And as you can see, the teams are starting to fill up with people. And that's because the HR is doing some hiring. You see, they're taking care of hiring some of the people in. Oh, no. You know what? No, they haven't yet. Okay, we got to set Beth McDowell and Billy Bailey as leaders. That's why. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. The people that got hired was because Frank hired them. So now we should see things fill up. Yeah, there we go. Or staff member assigned to empty room groups and okay, wait a minute. What's going on? Oh, okay. That was just the warning. Never mind. That was just the warning about things there before. Okay, that's fine. I'm not sure what the cook thing is about. We'll have to a little bit of time pass here and see what's going on with that. Okay, so now we should see. Yeah, see, there's a fair amount more people that are working. They were starting to fill everything out. So the next day, we're going to see this way drop down because we had to pay for all the building costs and for all the staff. And we'll see what kind of profitability we have after all of this has been said and done. I know we're going to be losing money. But we can hope some more deals come in to help us cover things. Okay, so we do have a design one that came in, and we're going to go ahead and take it because we need to start covering the costs a little bit. This will not pay for all the staff, but it'll pay for a little bit. So it does have designers and artists already selected. This will be good until March, so 1 month worth of time. That's okay. Just going to complain, but that's fine. We'll reject the rest. Okay. Yep, there's the big money loss, but and no, we're not actually heading for bankruptcy. But as you can see, even though we spent out $3,400,000, we're still bringing in some cash and stuff because of the hosting that we're doing. So we should tomorrow see another set of profit come in, and as you can see, people are coming in to do the deals. Hosting, we'll go ahead and take that for sure. We need to change it so that the server is on the distribution. And the other two, well, nope, we don't need to do those. Once we have a service team, a support team set up, we can do that. But I'm not too worried about it otherwise. Okay, what's up with the empty room groups now? Should not be happening. There they are. It's a security guard. What is the security guard doing? Okay. Let me take them off for reception again. We'll put them on none. Let me do the room groups thing. Nope. That. Nope. I want to bring up the room groups. It's somewhere. Where would you be? None of those. Sorry, I don't remember how to get to the actual room groups. Yeah, exactly. Oh, is it over here? Yeah, there we go. Room groups. Okay. So, reception. Yeah, we're gonna select. You know what? I think let's just go ahead and delete this one. Okay, just to start it over, just because. So we're gonna create a new group. We're gonna call this. We'll just rename it reception 2. That's fine. So. We'll select that. We'll add the selected rooms, and now we should be able to put the managed staff into reception 2. There we go. That should work. And you know what? Before I forget, there is one thing I forgot to purchase. I did forget to purchase a CCTV camera. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick as well. If I can find it in the list. I think it's under utility, actually. If I click that. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, we'll just put it right there. That's fine. So that'll work. Now we should see the other people come in and work it. So yeah, we made $73,000. Not much, but considering we haven't really done much of anything this time around, that's not too bad. Sure, design. We'll do another design. This will be till January. That'll be acceptable. Like that, and reject those. So now that we have all of these things in place, we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up a project management thing. So let's do file compression. I am a writer, by the way. It's just the way I'm set up here. It's a little hard for me to type. No leaders to choose from. What are you talking about there? Oh, you know what? Does Frank have the ability to do project management? I thought he did. What's your details here? No, he doesn't. See, I thought I had set him up to do that. Huh. Okay. Well, that changes things slightly. Let me see. Can I go into education somewhere on the screen here? I thought I could. I can do it through here. Let me educate. And let me set him up to see if we can do some form of the automation. Yeah, we can do the project management there. Right. Well, that's a little funky. What's going on with that? Because it shows he has 2 points that are available for putting into there. But then when I try to actually do it, it sends me to the development thing. And I don't want that. Okay, it might actually be more efficient for us to try to find another team lead that can do the automation for that team. And just have him be programmer. For now, anyway. Trying to see if we can find a decent 4-star. Spending a lot of money doing this. Oh shoot. I passed by one that was normal, that was a 4-star I might have been interested in, but I feel like I'm gambling here. I feel like I'm gambling. Alright, well, let's take a look. Yeah, see, they don't have any automation. I want them to have the HR, but okay, I'll tell you what. Actually, it might be... Close that. Let's see if maybe we can find somebody more specialized in automation. And I'd like for them to be HR as well. There's a 4-star with normal. Multitasking. No. Don't need really multitasking. Because I want them bare minimum to be able to handle like the complaints and stuff on HR. Okay, that would be good. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll work. It'll make the team a little less effective, but until I figure out what's going on as far as Frank goes with the education for leadership, I'll have to look it up because I'm not sure what's going on with that. But until then, we'll get things figured out. So now we should be able to do the project management once we put the other guy as the leader. Let's see. Frank, you can do any role. And then this new person that came in, Ellen Harmon, we will change her role to be leader. All right. And now we should be able to do the project management with Ellen being in control. We'll name this one File Compressors. So here's what we need to do for the project management. Now, remember, we set it up so that we have an actual design team. So instead of file compression, we're going to do the designers and artists. Okay. The development teams, we're going to have be file compression and the designers and artists. And that's because we might need art for the program. The designers won't be used, but the artists will. Secondary, for now, because we don't have any other teams that are programmer based, we'll just have the same thing be set up there. The support team, I mean, it's going to have to be file compression. This is for like doing the aftermarket support and that kind of thing. We'll just have the file compression team do that for now. The marketing, we certainly don't want designers and artists doing that. We'll have our marketers do that work, right? And the post-marketing, again, the marketers will be handling that work. The SCM, we'll have that be on development. The prototype software, we can go ahead and select the tar filter because we're going to have them make sequels to the thing that we already have, correct? If we were doing a different team, like that's developing a game, for instance, and we're just starting out with that, we wouldn't do a prototype software. But since we already have a prototype for the file compression, that's why we did that. The server, this is for aftermarket servers. So we'll have that be distribution. Okay. Now, iteration cooldown, the development time, we don't have to worry about those. Those are not a big deal. Hype, this is for your marketing team to work. Auto development, the leader will come up with new products. If there are new technologies and such that open up for the file compression, then the leader can select those things to be continuously upgraded, basically. Single IP, we don't want to worry about. Use frameworks. Again, if you have software that you've already created, like 2D editors and that kind of thing, then the frameworks can be used. I'm sorry, the frameworks are for if you when you set up the program, you can set it up so that it is a framework, and that way anything that is developed based on that same framework later can be done more efficiently and quicker. The thing I was talking about is use your own licenses. This'll be for 2D editors and that kind of thing that you create. So we'll go ahead and select that too. Single IP, we're not going to worry about. Only sequels we do want, because we do want them just working on one sequel after another for the file compressors. Post-marketing, yes, I want them to handle it, and I do want them to handle marketing as well. So our marketing team is going to be in charge from this point forward of any marketing that's done for this. But again, we have a team leader that's set up for that, so we should be okay. Physical copies and print job copies. So because we don't have a printer set up yet, we cannot set up to do print job copies. If we did, we would go ahead and put how many copies we want this person to create before release. So if we wanted to have them, release with 50,000 copies on the market, they would print out 50,000 copies and put them on the market. Because we're not set up for that quite yet, we're going to have them go ahead and purchase 50,000 physical copies. And we're doing that based on the idea that our previous things have sold around that zone. So that's going to cost us $100,000 to print that out, but we should be okay. So now that we have all this set up, we're going to click OK, and you're going to see it should, if we do things right, it should. Oh yeah, there's a little bug that's going on. Sometimes it won't show up here until you go into build mode and come out of it. So it should, you see now we've got the file compression project management. Now, absolutely nothing is going to happen with this until you actually go in and create a piece of software. Okay. You could sit there for the next 12 months and it's just going to sit there doing absolutely nothing. So what we need to do is actually go ahead and set up a piece of software to be created. So we're going to do the file compression tool. We are going to click on this to make it so that the new thing is a sequel. Select the name tar filter 3. And we're going to go ahead and select the things that have already been done previously. And you can see now we're at 88% expected interest. That's what it's been before. We do have a speed boost of almost 10% because we've created a couple of this thing before. Our consumer reach is actually really high compared to what it was previously, and that's because probably a new operating system got released that a lot of people are making use of. But this should be set up pretty good. We do not have to use a publisher at this point in time because we have our own marketing team working, and we can set up so that physical copies are created. And so any profit that comes in is going to be our profit alone. All right, so we are going to have the design team be file compression, and we're going to have, the design team be designer and artist, and the development team be the file compression. However, instead of clicking on develop, we're going to click on Project Management, and we're going to do the file compressors. Boom. Now, this piece of software is going to be created by the project management team. And from this point forward, we do not have to do anything else to create file compression software. This team is just going to keep on developing it over and over again. So we are all set up for automation to be done. We can go ahead and move time forward and see what happens from here. So we'll go ahead and run it for a couple of months. And you're going to see right now designing none and that kind of thing. That's because right now it's still kind of going through the process of figuring out what do we need to do and so on and so forth. Where did our profit go? Did we buy something? I don't remember. I think our internet bill went up a little bit too. Yeah, okay, yeah. We did a bunch of hiring. That's why it is. Okay. Kind of freaked myself out a little bit. All right, so deals came in. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what's in here. There's a couple more hostings we'll go ahead and take. A couple of marketings. We'll go ahead and take those too. That's a nice, big, valuable one. We'll take that one. And sure, I mean, why not? We've got the marketing. Let's go ahead and take them all. I know we're probably going to suck at it, and we're probably going to have a really bad reputation for it, and that too is okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that design one as well, and we'll go ahead and skip the rest. The reason why I took that extra design one is because this one is just about finished. And the designers, once they're done doing the design work for the file compression, they're going to have basically nothing to do. We need the extra cash flow at least for the next couple of months. So yeah, see, now we're making a profit. Okay, now we're making a profit. Now the money's coming back in again. So as you can see over here, designing tar filter 3. So these guys are now in design mode, and we should see that move into the development mode once they've got that completed. We've got more deals, another hosting. Sure, we will grab that. I will not go ahead and do the marketing. Oh wow, actually I think I will, because that's a big marketing job. We'll take that one. We'll cancel the rest. And what I'll do is I will go ahead and turn back on the marketing so I can see what's going on with it. This one here is probably the lower pay one. If I go into deals, I can see what's paying for what. So let me see, marketing. $34,000, that one right there, and $33,000, that one right there. We can cancel one of those. Let's cancel that one. Our performance with that one is bad, you know. So, so let's go ahead and cancel that one. And I think we can go ahead and cancel this one too. That way we can kind of get the rep up maybe a little bit. Our hosting ones have good reputation, but our marketing ones are a little woefully insufficient because, well, our marketing team is a little on the low end right now. Sorry about the noise there. I kept accidentally bumping the microphone. But that should be okay coming up the next month. So yeah, we're making pretty good money per month here. So we're doing okay. Doing okay. So making a little bit of money off of that piece of software that we had put out a little while back. And I think that I think for the priorities, the file compressors, I'm going to go ahead and mark them as being a higher priority, only because I want the design team to be focused more on doing that than anything else. One of our employees called in sick, Raphael. You're not allowed to call in sick. Ah, that's another really high-end marketing one too. Let's go ahead and take that one. Sure. We'll take that one, and we'll cancel out one of the other lower end ones. Probably this one. Yeah, we'll cancel that one. That will be okay. So, okay, as you can see, now we are officially developing Tar Filter 3. So these guys are now working. They are doing their thing. Our employees have been eating heartily, as you can see. So, and again, can't keep up with support. I'm not worried about that. In fact, how are we on support with it? There's 9,000 active users. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel the support on it. We don't have any fans right now anyways, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, we actually released that piece of software already. My goodness. Okay, well, so now we have that one being released. There are 50,000 copies of it on the market, right? And we will see after this month how well that piece of software does. So let's go ahead and let time pass. And that was a quick turnaround. My goodness. My goodness. Really rapid turnaround. I did not expect them to finish it that quickly. These guys are on it. Take that hosting job. We will go ahead and cancel the rest. And see what happens. Come on, give us something good. Give us a really big hit. We can use the money. And boom. We made $4,000. $4,000. And that's because the marketing on it is sparse. Okay. To be fair, our marketers have been really concentrating on doing the other stuff, right? They've been concentrating on making money in the other ways. And what, did it turn out to be a bad piece of software anyways? Yeah, it was mediocre. Mediocre. Well, I mean, at least it sold a couple copies, right? Yeah. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to change things around a little bit. We're going to go into project management, and I'm actually going to go ahead and, let's see. Nope. Actually, you know what? I think I'll just hire some more marketers. I think I will. I'll have the marketing team fill up with a couple more people, just to give them the extra buffer. Let's do 8. I mean, I've got room for 14 of them in there, you know. Hello, kitty. We have a kitty visitor. Hello, little kitty. You're so cute. I like the fact that they have like the little things like that in the game. There's 2 kitties. Oh my goodness. Yay. Hi, Mrs. Kitty. Hi, Mr. Kitty. They're so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, this game is distracting. Anyways, so yeah. So, I mean, it was a bad piece of software to begin with. I'm not surprised it didn't sell very well, but you know, we're still making profit in the other ways. This is kind of just us gearing ourselves up. And again, you know, once things get going a little bit and these guys have made a couple of copies of it, they'll be doing better. You know, they'll be doing better. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. Again, as long as we're making enough money to sustain what we're paying out every month, that's fine. It's totally okay. Okay, so our leaders are wanting to have the extra cash. And that's okay. You can do that. You can have your money. That's fine. Okay. Just out on doing a deal. That's okay. We've still got like, oh geez, a lot of hostings. I'm really pleased with how much hosting has been coming in. That's really helpful. Really helpful. That's where we're getting a lot of good money flow. It's a good trick. You know, it's a good trick to get your hands on. So let's check to see how this is doing. Yeah, it's doing terrible. Marketing on it is still sparse. We've sold 950 copies. Woeful. Woeful. Yeah. Woeful. However, the next one is being developed, so we'll see what happens with that. Okay. Fire inspection. We failed the fire inspection. I am not surprised. We don't have a way for the people to escape in a fire. We have no fire alarms. You know, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's fine. Fine, $550. It's something new that's in the game. It came out with the Alpha 11. It's not super well developed. I have actually done my best to fulfill the fire violation stuff and all that kind of stuff. Just let me build, man. Let me do my thing. Waiting to see how this next tar filter does here. It's expected to come out in April, so it's due out in maybe 2 months. We might have a better time with it this time around. Print jobs, meh. Print jobs are worthwhile doing. I will say that they can make a lot of money, but you really have to be set up in a big way to be able to do them. And we just don't have the infrastructure right now to do that. We just don't have the room to do that. So we may set up a printing facility in the near future. Yeah, so they have now released this next piece of software. Let's see how it did. It did terrible. It was good this time around, but the marketing on it is still very sparse. I'm very disappointed in this marketing team right now. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to set things up a little bit different. I'm going to cancel out the current project management for it. No, let me see. No, there's a way to change things around. No. Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and cancel out this file compressors. Now, that means that the support and all that kind of stuff we're going to have to handle ourselves, right? However, I'm going to go ahead and cancel the support for that. And I'm going to cancel the support, the marketing for Tar Filter 3. Don't need it. Cancel the support for that. There's only 100 users of it anyways. Not worried about that. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to set up a new project management. I'm going to set it up basically the exact same way. Okay. I'm going to have the Ellen work it. I'm going to have, designers and artists be the design team. The designers and artists be the file and the file compression be the development. Same thing for that. Same thing that we set it up with before. Support team, that's fine. Marketing, we'll go ahead and set up the marketers. We'll set up the marketers for this too. However, we're going to do a little different. We're going to do the development there. Prototype software we're going to do for tar filter 4. And the server distribution. Not worry about those. Not really particularly worry about these other things, right? We don't want them to handle the marketing. And we don't really want them to handle the support. Physical copies, we're going to do another 50,000. Not 500,000, 50,000. Okay, yeah. Click OK. Now, we're going to do the setup of the software. Original IP be that one. They did things a little weird this time around. You see this? Yeah, they did things a little weird. Yeah, we can go with that. That's fine. That's fine. So now, NSCM we're going to do as the development as well. So now, we're going to do the project management again, right? But this time around, we're going to go ahead and do a publisher, and we're going to have them handle the marketing. It's going to take 15% of our profit, and Electronic Arts is apparently doing the, yeah, go figure. But we'll have them handle the marketing, and we'll have our marketers, at least for now, until they get more skilled, we'll have our marketers just do deal jobs. Do the project management. This will cancel your publishing deal? No, we don't want to do that. Did they change it so that you can't do? Oh, maybe they did. Okay. Huh, they might have changed things around now so that the project management can't handle having a publisher. Okay, well, that's going to be a thing. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and stop for now. And we will have a think about what we need to do to progress things forward. We might be at a little bit of an impasse with things. You know, getting ourselves a little bit into a corner. But we'll figure it out and we'll go from here. But if you guys enjoyed this, I would appreciate if you guys hit that like button and let me know that you did. If you didn't, hit that dislike button. Either way, let me know how you think. And if you want to see more of this, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear that too. But also, if you like this kind of content, if you like what I do, I come out with a lot of videos. I have a lot of videos that come out every day. I would love for you guys to participate too. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well, so that you can get notified of when we come out with something new. We're always doing something different here, you know? So yeah, I would love for you guys to become members of my little community here. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I know I have. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I think that we've got a long way to go before we can call ourselves complete with all of this, but it's going well, I think, so far. I mean, we're at least making profit every day. And hey, we're back up to the same place, or around the same place that we were before we did this big company expansion, and we're still growing. So, yeah, we'll take things from here. Frank, I think, is pretty happy with the situation, at least overall. So, until next time. Keep safe out there. Have fun. Thank you so much as always for watching, and I'll see you again later. Hello, Rose.
I saw you taking a little detour out there to talk to that overseer of yours.
This land is his land, and none else are welcome.
Enemy sighted! Guys, they're here!
Okay. Well, I don't know. Where'd you come from?